Well, what turned into perhaps the biggest must-win in the Steve Kerr era of Golden State Warriors basketball indeed turned into that. Many people were trying to write off the Golden State Warriors after that horrible loss in Game 3. But if we've learned anything under Steve Kerr, this team bounces back and shows that championship pedigree. And it showed up tonight, definitely in Game 4 on the Parquet floor in Boston, Massachusetts. And welcome, this is a very late night edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show, as it is currently 1:07 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as we are recording this live on Saturday, June the 11th. But he is Mizzle, I am Dub, and well, needless to say, the NBA Finals of 2022 have now become a best of three.
Here we go.
So here it is. The best 2 out of 3, and either the Boston Celtics or the Golden State Warriors will be hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
Hopefully it's the team from the Bay.
You see the shirt he's wearing. But simply, in the archives, when you look at Game 4 of the NBA Finals, it will certainly just come down to one man, and that man's name is Wardell Stephen Curry II, who literally said, "Boys, climb on. I'm going to put the cape on today and hold my beer." And he definitely held the beer to the tone of 43 points,
Holla.
10 rebounds,
One more time.
and 43 of them buckets.
Say that again.
43 buckets. 43 of them buckets.
Now, let me chime in real quick on this young. He ain't the babyface assassin no more like he used to be, but he's still an assassin. The assassin name stays. But it is something about Curry right now. I don't know if it's the media that got to him, or is it just his flat out determination just to dominate this league. As we just sat here and talked earlier before we decided to do this late night show, we are watching this young man, yes, we're older than him, build his own legacy that nobody is going to touch. I mean, Jordan has his own legacy. Even the crybaby LeBron has his own legacy. Curry is doing something that I don't think my grandchildren, kids may not see somebody pass. I mean, he shattered Ray Allen's record, and I believe he still has what? I'm gonna throw it out there. At least about 10 more years left in the tank to play basketball. That will put him at what, 44?
Yeah.
44? Okay, 10 years maybe might be a little exaggerating. But what I'm getting at is he is going to set the bar for that 3-point record.
Well, he'll be Mr. 5,000 threes before he decides to hang up the Under Armours. That's right.
I believe the only person that Mike can even get close to touching that is Clay, or maybe Riley. I mean, not Cannon when he gets older and starts to decide to play basketball. But other than that, I see nobody getting on Steph Curry's caliber. Brother, he is building his own legacy. I mean, I didn't mean to jump off further into the show, but I just had to put that out there. Go ahead with his finals.
Well, here
unless you want to chime in.
But here's the type in something that you sent me, of course. One of the reasons why we do the show is because of one Michael Wilbon from PTI, and he tweeted, because you sent me this, he said, "If you have any more doubts about Steph Curry, shut up, go to your room, no food or water, and go straight to bed."
So here's the thing. So you posted something on Facebook. You said the 2-time MVP, 3-time NBA champion, can't get no calls.
Well, there's 2 particular shots that he took that should have been play.
I know, because I saw it. but what I'm getting at is that everybody's saying the only thing that's not making Steph Curry in the upper echelon of basketball players is because he hasn't had a finals MVP.
Well, it's certainly his to lose.
Oh, well, this game, when I'm speaking into existence, when the Warriors win, this game right here won the MVP for him. He can shit the pot the rest of the. I mean, as long as the Warriors win, he cannot score. What he's been averaging 30 points the whole finals, right? About 30 points, 29 point something, 29.9, 30 something. It's 30 something.
Yes.
But he cannot score the 30 points or average that or whatever. But the Warriors win. When they do, he's hands down the finals MVP. And
that's the only thing missing on his mantle.
What, like, he really cares about that, though. Just let's think about that. Do you think he really cares about that?
No, to a degree, no. I mean,
but the way he's playing now, you think he's caring about it because game one, he came out flat out balling.
The competitor that he is obviously wants it, but anyone that has watched him knows he is by far the most selfless, unselfish teammate anybody has ever played with. And I can and not to talk about him, but I can understand why LeBron said what he said about I would love to play with Curry. I understand it now.
And I hope it doesn't happen. But yes, I understand what LeBron was saying. You will want to, that's almost like not the jump sports, but it's, and I'm being a homer when I say this, but you've heard it. It's almost like what Chandler Jones said about wanting to come to play with the Raiders. He wanted to come play with Max Crosby. But it wasn't also Chandler Jones that also said that. Yannick said that he wanted to come play with Max. So I get it. I get you want to come play with the best. Not saying Max is the best at what but he's good at what his position. But Curry's the best at what he's doing right now. And so I get it. But I hope LeBron never touches a Warrior or a Sixer jersey as long as I'm around to witness basketball. And I rest my case.
But again, just to piggyback, he's the most unselfish teammate I've ever seen. Like the man is really about team and not necessarily his personal stuff. Again, and I really don't want to go back to this, but we're gonna have to go back to this when Durant decided to come to play.
I didn't want to interrupt you because that's what I was about to just say. So I'm glad that me and you, we're this show's gonna be good because we're vibing already.
Because I'm like, what other teammate would you know that'd be like, here, you be comfortable, shoot the damn ball? How many other teammates would do that?
That shot he pulled up, I'm speaking on KD, in Cleveland. That's Curry shot. But do you think Curry was peeved, upset?
No.
Like, oh my God, I'm a diva. I need to make that shot. No. When KD made that shot, the best picture in the world, and it popped up on my Facebook timeline, is when Curry and Draymond was not yelling, but you know what I'm saying, the celebration. That is the best picture final-wise that I didn't see next to Jordan slapping Brian Russell on the ass saying good game. Like, why are you guarding me, bro? You know.
Or the baby skyhook in the original Boston Garden. Over 3 hands.
Cold.
And we all know Magic was not a shooter at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
But the only thing he could do was the baby skyhook to get over not Mikhail's hands, not just the Chiefs' hands, but Larry Joe Bird's hands.
I love their rival. Now that we're drifting off. Finals. We can do a 3-hour show just talking. So,
well, considering that just a couple of days ago, this was the 3rd anniversary of the famous first half against the Blazers, but that's another story.
That's a bad man
for another day. But I mean, and I know a lot of people have called out Steph because it's like, well, he hasn't had one of those finals games where he's put the team on his back and has carried them when he needs to carry them. Well,
so wait, he ain't been carrying them since game one?
Well, you know how the media goes.
Well, but he ain't been carrying them since game one?
Well, like I said, he would have had more points in game two if he didn't sit up the whole entire fourth quarter. He's at 34 in game one, 29 in game two, 31 in game three, 43 tonight. Okay. And then just to add to more history, he is the only man in the finals to make 5+ threes in 4 consecutive NBA Finals games. The only guy. The only guy.
So when I was saying about that legacy that he's building for himself,
correct,
that nobody, maybe somebody will, but I don't think it might be a few decades.
Well, here's the thing. Michael Jordan helped globalize the game of basketball,
100%.
especially with the Dream Team coming together 30 years ago.
100%.
Still the greatest, to quote Marv Albert, the greatest basketball team ever assembled, hands down, period.
100%.
Okay. And yes, LeBron and Kobe in their own respective help globalize the game, but without question, Wardell has transcended globally the game of basketball.
Well,
almost to the same globalization as Michael, and I'm going to explain why. Because Curry is doing it with a whole different shoe brand. Number one.
Well.
Number two, as tired as he is, he still every year takes trips to China to promote his brand and also to promote the game. And you see all those kids just gravitate to him, not to mention what he still does, not only in the city of San Francisco, but what he still does for the city of Oakland, not forgetting the Oakland roots of the Warriors team, what him and his wife does for both the cities. Not to mention what he still does for Davidson.
Speak on it.
Where he went to school at. Not to mention what his wife's doing with the whole restaurant industry, having restaurants here in Vegas, in the Napa Valley, what have you. I mean, the man is becoming a global brand.
His own legacy.
Yeah. Like, I want those Oscar the Grouch Currys. I need that in my life.
I forgot what shoes he wore and what. I think I sent the picture to you or mentioned it to you, but I was like, yo, I need those. Like, those are, oh my goodness, those are bad.
But I mean, he literally put the cape on and said, "Hold my beer, guys. I'm gonna carry us tonight."
Yeah, he was determined not to lose this game tonight, and you can clearly saw that. No matter what, he was going to do whatever it took to win that game. And I don't like to be this guy because I don't like to use this excuse, but it was clearly one-sided with the referees tonight. I'm sorry. It was the Warriors had to play against 6 people tonight, and it was ridiculous. And not saying on both sides. They didn't make Boston should have had a few calls that was missed, but it was the Warriors. They missed a lot with the Warriors, man. It was ridiculous how the game was reffed tonight, you know. And I really hate to be that guy because Because anytime you talk to somebody and you mention the refs, oh, you blaming the refs for the loss. Well, not necessarily, but they played a hand in how the game was played.
Well, the funny thing about that is Boston only shot 4 more free throws than the Warriors tonight. Boston went to the foul line 19 times.
Yeah.
And the Warriors only went there, and Warriors only shot 15. But the discrepancy was Boston did miss some key free throws. But as we say, ball don't lie.
It don't. Rasheed Wallace will tell you that all day.
Yeah. I mean, both teams didn't shoot the ball so well. I mean, Boston only shot 40% from the floor. Warriors shot 44%. They each made the same amount of three-pointers. They each had 15, so there really was nothing there, even though Boston had the better percentage because the Warriors shot
a lot more
5 more threes than Boston. But the key for me, the Warriors controlled the glass. Because mainly all series long, Boston has been able to control the glass, but today it was the Warriors 55 rebounds to the Celtics 42, but 16 of those were offensive rebounds.
Huge.
And I mean,
huge.
I mean, everyone's going to talk about Curry's 43, and rightfully so. But my God, Andrew Wiggins controlled the glass tonight because he had 16 of those 52 rebounds. Looney had 11. Looney had 11 of those rebounds, and of course, we talk about Wardell's 43, but the man had 10 rebounds.
10 of them. Every team effort. It was a team effort tonight. You saw that. But here's the thing. I should have sent you this stat that I saw. I don't feel like trying to research for it. But it pulled up a stat of the Warriors in their in the finals are being they've been down 2-1 before.
Correct.
And
they've won 3 of those 4 series.
The only loss they had was to
2016. But 2 of those, no, I want to say it's 2019 finals, but no,
the Raptors
series. But 3 of those 4 that they've been down 2-1, they've won. They were down 2-1.
Being down 3-1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah,
came back and won 3 in a row. So they know what they need to do.
Like I said, Steve Kerr, as we were talking in production, Steve Kerr made a ballsy move, not having your best defender, not having your heartbeat in there in the situation. And Draymond easily could have threw a fuss and it could have been like, you know what, screw this, F that. I want to be out there. He said, yeah, it's frustrating, but if that's what my coach needs me to do to help the team win, then that's what I need to do. And kudos for him for being the ultimate teammate and the ultimate professional and just riding with it.
You don't see that. You don't see that in organizations.
No.
That often.
I mean, the year that Kurt told Iggy, you're better off coming off the bench. Who Iggy his whole career has been a starter. You think Iggy wanted to hear that? No. But he ended up becoming a Finals MVP that year because
he knew his role.
But I mean, the Warriors had 4 people in double figures. Curry had 43. Clay had 18. Clay hit some big shots down the stretch. Wiggins had 17. Jordan Poole decided to make an appearance and score 14 big ones tonight.
Wow.
Even though I still think at times he just plays a little too tight, just plays a little bit too loose and just needs to let the game come to him.
I'm going to tell you the problem that I have with Jordan Poole. Besides the fact of the matter that he dribbles the damn ball too much. But
he got away with a few traveling calls tonight because he.
That's where I was getting. You see, like I said, this is gonna be a good show. We vibing right now. You already feeling where I'm coming. He dribbles too much, number one. Then he picks up his dribble too much sometimes. He just plays like it's almost like he's playing out of control. He's not a bad player.
He's not.
He's great. But it's certain things that it's like, slow down, young man.
Let the game come to
Slow
you.
down.
Let the game come to you.
You're dribbling a little too fast. You're moving the ball a little too fast. Let your big man get down the court. Let whoever you're running with, because I think something that right now he's running more with Clay than he is running with Steph.
Correct.
But sometimes he is running with Steph.
Yes.
What you got to understand with Clay, you got to let everybody get situated and you got to let Clay roam. Curry is the one that you can play wild style.
Yeah, you can
Curry's gonna move.
You can freelance.
Clay needs to be set. It needs to be that everybody's in their situation, or if it's Clay bringing the ball up court and he jacks up a shot. You got to know your personnel. You got to know who's on the floor and who you're running with. Sometimes Poole makes the great stuff. You know, we live and die with what goes on. He has more great than he does have bad, but I'm more worried about him with his ball handling. He dribbles too much for me. For me, it may be, well, I don't know what Kerr has for him to do and everything, but when I see Poole on the floor, I'm here and I'm here and I'm here and I'm here because he's an excellent talent. But he shows flashes when he runs the offense. And I'm like, dude, that was a dime you just dropped. Like, yes. And then it's sometimes like,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
That was the Warriors all day tonight. I mean, in the game. Curry made some like, bro, there's nobody. Why are you making that pass? There's nobody over there. Curry did it. Wiggins did it. Poole did it. I'm like, yo, you can't make those type of possessions with Boston because Boston is going to score when you make a mistake.
Yeah. And as you know, you watch what you cook because you was obviously working, but there are just times where it just seemed like Boston had the Warriors on the ropes.
Yes.
Looked like they were getting ready to deliver that knockout blow, and yet the Warriors pull an Ali, pull a rope-a-dope, or pull a Floyd shoulder roll and somehow just avoid the knockout blow.
Yes.
But it just seemed like for a period of time during that game, it just seemed like everything Boston threw up, they were getting the bounce. It was going off the glass. It just seems like the leprechaun was really, really working for Boston in game 4.
Especially with the and ones. They were doing a lot of and ones with the bounce.
Yeah. And on the other side, like I said, you got a 2-time MVP, a 3-time champion that is getting abused just to get a shot off.
Speak on it.
And the man can't get a 4-point play. We should
have had 2 of them.
2 4-point plays.
We vibing.
But it's like, but it's like anybody else that's a former MVP or a multiple time champion would get.
Kobe's getting that call.
Oh yeah,
Kobe's getting that. LeBron definitely getting that call.
Yeah, those two for sure. Those two for sure are living at the free throw line.
I even go as far as to say Embiid to get that call before Curry gets that call. And that's a shame. Embiid should not be at the 3-point line getting that, jacking up the 3, getting that whistle.
Yeah.
They get no, and it's not, it goes as far as not as Curry. I mean, Clay doesn't get the call. I mean, Poole got hit a few times going to the rack, and I'm like, yo.
Well, I mean, heck, Kevon Looney got knocked down trying to go after a rebound.
He got shoved. He got pushed, bro. Don't say knocked down. He got pushed.
And again,
I saw it.
And again, I'm like you. I don't like having to blame the Zebras because they have a tough enough job as it is trying to control the action and the pace and flow of the game.
But when you can clearly see how the game is being reffed,
yeah,
not even just saying our team, it's in the NBA. You look at a game, you can watch an NBA game and seeing where like, okay, this team is supposed to win. just by watching the game and how it's being ref. I mean, come on. It goes both ways. I saw a few times to where I'm like, yo, Draymond Green, that was a foul. Or, a certain thing, and they let that go. And then on the other hand, I'm like you just said, what does the two-time MVP of this league and three-time champion got to do to get the respect? The one thing that got me is when Jaylen Brown made that contact with Draymond Green and they gave him that N1.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a horrible call. But then when Tatum came down and did the same exact thing, he put that in there and he jacked it up. Refs didn't make it. Be fair. I just want fair.
Yeah.
I don't like making excuses for the referees.
And again, not to go into a different sport, but I go back to Super Bowl 56 with the Rams and the Bengals.
Ooh.
All game long, you've let them play. You've let the chippiness happen. Then all of a sudden, as the Rams are driving down to take the eventual go-ahead game-winning score on that touchdown of Cooper Kupp, all of a sudden, they're in the red. They're inside the 10-yard line, and you just want to throw all these dang flags.
Yeah, we was on the phone on that one.
Like I'm not getting it. Again, yes, we know you can't hand check no more. You can't dig your forearm into their back anymore. Of how we used to watch it growing up. Okay, yes, I know they want a faster game and they want more scoring. They don't want the old style New York Knicks basketball. They don't want the whole 88-79 type score. Okay.
They don't want the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I understand it. I get it. Even if I don't agree with it. But it's like, dude, you just can't have it be one-sided. Because a lot of us are going to be like, okay, are they doing the Tim Donaghy again? And if you don't know who Tim Donaghy is, just YouTube Game 6 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Kings, and you'll understand the reference there.
Horrible display of reffing. Horrible. No. I can't remember. Were we watching that game together, or were we talking on that game?
I'm pretty sure we were talking to some degree because we're just like, now keep in mind,
I am not a Lakers fan.
Yes, we are. We are full-fledged haters of the Los Angeles Lakers just because they
and
are
the Kings.
James Reynolds, and we're not fans of the Kings. But
fair is fair, damn it.
You cannot sit there and tell me that the Kings did not get robbed in Game 6. Now, granted, yes, they still have to play another game, and yes, the Lakers won Game 7 overtime without much controversy from referees. But that particular game in Game 6 isn't a reason why fans don't trust the Zebras in the National Basketball Association. And I mean, you threw me the stat about Scott Foster when he referees Celtics games.
They don't lose.
It was almost like when Joey Crawford refereed Spurs games. It's like when you're looking to see who the referees are, and then you see one particular and it's like you see one particular name, and you're just like, oh no.
You know it. Conspiracy my ass.
And it's like, we don't want to do this.
No.
It's like,
no.
Be fair, call it down the middle, let the players decide the game, not the whistle.
Well, I'm a double down on that. We can go as far as boxing. We can go as 3 judges. 3 looking at the same thing that we're watching. When clearly somebody is getting their ass whipped. Not just saying it's a total knockout. Oh my God, like wow. Whipping. What 117, 108. What are you watching? I've seen a fair fight. I even seen draws. But I don't like leaving things in the ref's hands. And for boxing, it's easy. Knock them out. You ain't got to worry about the refs. Basketball, it's hard. Football is hard. Shoot, you can go even. It's hockey. Well, hockey ain't no rules. The only rule they got is icing.
and a lot of times they hold the whistle on that. But I mean, there's not many. I mean, slashing is obvious. High sticking is obvious.
Of course,
cross checking is obvious. But I mean,
the pettiness is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but for the most part, especially when it comes to the playoffs, the referees let them do what they do. They only step in when they have to, which is why sometimes I enjoy playoff hockey more than I enjoy playoff basketball, because the refs in the NHL let the players decide the game and dictate the game.
Agreed.
The NBA at times does not allow you to do that.
Okay. So now that we're doing this and we're talking about it, so we know what Game 7 falls on, right?
Correct.
We talked about this in pre-production.
Yes.
So Game 7, for those that don't know, falls on Father's Day. Does anybody have any? My prediction was, we talked about it on previous shows. You can go back. I said Warriors in 6. I did. But after watching how this game is going, the series is going, I can see what the NBA will do. It can go 7. I see a 7 now. I'm not. I still want 6, but I see 7 now. I do see 7 just because what Game 7 falls on, because that is a day to where certain men would just like to sit at home with some beer. Game 7 should be some baseball on as well. Watch sports all day.
Yeah. Yeah. They ABC and the NBA wants that extra money. And again, I'm really hoping it doesn't come to that.
I still hope it's over in 6. It's still a chance.
Yeah.
But I still have the Warriors winning Monday, which takes it back to Boston, correct?
Correct, for Game 6, correct.
I have Boston winning in Game 6, and I have it back in San Francisco for Game 7 for Father's Day. Of course, I'm going to pick the Warriors to win because I still have them winning the whole thing. But I do see the writing on the wall.
And again, as fans, you really don't want that to happen because, like I said, you really want the players to decide the game. That's what that's what you ask for. Now, here's the question going into Game 5.
Okay.
And this has been the elephant in the room because we all know at times Clay struggles, and we all know Draymond is struggling mightily. People are saying that his podcast that he does on a daily is perhaps distracting him from playing from his game. Do you believe that?
You ain't okay. Oh, reverse question. Because I'm like, you ain't gonna let me get anything out right now. But is it a distraction? Yes and no. I'm gonna say on the yes part is because Draymond agree. He's gonna say what's on his mind. He's gonna.
He's from East Saginaw, Michigan.
The man could have been from Saginaw. I still think he would be doing the same thing. But I believe that something has gotten to his head because this ain't the Draymond Green we know.
No, he's not being the heartbeat right now.
He's more aggressive than he's normally been. If that kind of makes sense. But then again, the reason why I say no is because Draymond Green ain't gotta be the triple double machine that we know he can be. All Draymond Green gotta be is the person on the court, dribbling the ball, still setting things up.
Facilitate.
He is still that's what makes him the heartbeat. He ain't gotta be the person that's doing all the points, rebounds, and everything like that. All he has to do is bring the ball up the court, set the screen for Curry or Clay to get the jump shot, to get everybody. He's the general. I'm just gonna more say, forget the heartbeat. He's the general. Now with him off the court, it's hard. Yeah, do I like his antics? No. But do I get it? Yes. Do I want him just to be the basketball player that I know he can be? Yeah. But it's Draymond Green. We're going to live with that. The person that I'm worried about right now, offensive-wise, is Clay. It's something. I mean, Clay's missing wide open threes. Even the pump fake, jab step, pull up, he's missing those.
And he's had some very, very good looks.
Good looks. But guess what? I'm not worried about defensive Clay because, like I said to you in production, Andrew Wiggins and Clay played their ass off on defense in the game. And that won't show up on the score
on the stat sheet, but
me looking as what I did see, I hope Clay I'm not saying Clay gonna have a game, but I'm hoping now. And that sucks to say because normally it's like Clay gonna get it. Clay gonna get it. And now it's like when he shoots, it's like.
I still say, and until he proves me wrong, because he always does it, but there's going to be a Game 6 Clay sighting somewhere.
Oh.
It's going to happen.
With a shot of a doubt.
It's going to happen.
He knows it. But it just sucks that it takes that.
Now, here's another question in regards to Game 5.
Okay.
And some have called for it. I mean, I know I've called for it with the struggles because, again, what Williams for the Celtics, what Robert Williams III is doing literally on one damn leg, he's not 100%. And you can clearly see that in the way he's moving.
It's the will, though.
But his determination, his competitiveness, his intestinal fortitude, and just the way he's been playing, he's missed. I don't know. I know he missed some games. I didn't know he missed 7 games during this playoff run. I did not know it was 7. Wow. But what he's been doing, controlling the glass pretty much on just
both sides,
one and a half legs, is absolutely amazing. So here's my question. You're going back home to the big ATM, the Chase Center. Do you pencil in and give Kuminga some more time to try to match his athleticism? Because I know that was talked about why Curry don't put on the 2 young guys. You know, if Draymond was continually struggling, same thing with Clay, which if you watch again in the conference finals against Mavericks, Kuminga and Moody played some real good significant minutes. But also again tonight, Bielitsa gave him some more solid minutes.
He
And
needs to
also,
play more. He needs to play a little bit more. His minutes need to increase, maybe a few more minutes than what he's been getting. He quietly gives a spark. Like you totally forget that he's on the court because he's just doing the right things.
and normally he's a defensive liability, but he came up with a huge steal tonight.
Exactly. It under the whims. But to answer your question about Kuminga and Mooney getting some reps, I wouldn't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the simple fact of the matter that they're athletic, they're young.
Yes.
And you're gonna lose a little something when they're on the floor, but I like their energy. And I like what they could bring if you feed them early and they get a couple of baskets, the confidence goes up a little high. So that means I'm gonna play a little harder on the other end.
Because you can live with their effort all day.
All day.
Because they're going to give you that. But again, you give them some confidence to go along with that effort and potential, you could possibly have something. We will see what happens in Game 5. Game 5 is this Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC. It's a best 2 out of 3. So the next 3 games, if there's
critical,
they're very critical. Again, you know that you have Game 7 in your pocket.
Yeah.
If you want to go that route,
but you don't. But you're not thinking about Game 7.
No, you don't want to think about Game 7. You want to think about Monday night because that is what's at hand. Is Game 5 and to take a 3-2 series lead. Now, yes, Boston had 4 players in double figures, but down the stretch, it seems like Tatum's trying to force up shots because he led the Celtics in scoring, but he only shot the ball 8 for 23 from the floor, which was not a very good high percentage.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I didn't catch that stat.
Yeah, he shot 8 for 23. And it just seemed like down the stretch, it just seems like Jaylen Brown was hesitant to take the shots, even though he shot the ball well. I mean, Brown was 9 of 19 shooting. Smart was 7 of 18 shooting.
Live with that.
Yeah.
Especially with Smart.
Yeah. You definitely let. And again, it goes back to what Stephen A said earlier. Can I get consistency out of both men, Tatum and Brown, in the same game? Where it's like, okay, one has a good game, and then it's like they swap spots.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win many games, certainly in the finals, trying to do that every single game. So my question would be, what adjustments will Udome have for his team going into Game 5 on Monday?
Well, I don't want to give out the blueprint to help out the Celtics, but if there's anything that I would focus on with their defense is they need to find a way to bring on the screen and roll that the Warriors use a lot.
Correct.
They need to find a way to they're giving these shooters too much space. There's too much space when that screen comes. I mean, even on the head fakes that Curry used, but he's getting space, and it don't take much for Curry to shoot the 3-pointer or Clay to pull up. They're quick. Even Wiggins is getting space that's open. So
now if he would just hit a couple of more when he's wide open,
yes,
that could really pay you. That really could pay huge dividends for the Dubs because
it's there, and it's been there the whole series. They're not I don't know if they're expecting them to drive to the basket as much, or they're just thinking that they're playing in their Eastern Conference ways. But they gotta find that's the only thing I can think of for that.
You make a valid point. By the way, the final score tonight in Game 4 was the Warriors 107, the Celtics 97. This was the lowest margin of victory if you want.
That score doesn't just seem right because both of them was playing great defense. Even when the Celtics wasn't getting their scoring was slacking, they were still playing decent defense. I don't know where the turn took because like you said, I was watching the game somewhat.
Well, the Warriors finished with a 17-3 run. To close the game. So
and so good. That's what I was reading when someone was saying that they were saying it was Curry, but Clay made a big shot with like a minute 49 left in the game or something like that, and that's where it took a turn.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up after we polish this up. That might be my go to bed. See what the rest of the game. But wow, this has been a real battle. Well, excuse me. We should have seen this finals a few years ago when the Celtics got, what was it, 4 straight Eastern Conference Finals that they made it to, and it was LeBron that just destroyed them. Yeah. So this is a finals that should have been in the making a long time ago, and I'm excited to see how it's gonna end.
Like I said, I for the last 5-6 years, I kept saying I wouldn't mind seeing a Warriors Celtics finals, and it's happening. And we do know this. It is guaranteed to go 6. We do know that, but we don't want to keep asking this question, but it's like, will the Zebras make sure that there's a game 7 on Father's Day? And it's just like, at times you just want to be like, Adam Silver, what are you doing? Like, excuse me, what are you doing?
It's almost like I said, it's almost with boxing. Don't blatantly cheat. If you're gonna tell me who's gonna win the match, let me know. Let me just see how that person is gonna get to that. I'm good with spoilers. I mean, even when people tell me about movies, I'm like, okay, but I still have to watch it for myself.
Yes.
You can spoil almost anything for me. Just like I'm about to be a nerd right now. The Dragon Ball movie is out in Japan right now. I'm seeing all kind of stuff about it now. I'm good with it, but I still need to see the full outcome myself. I have to put my own 4 eyes on it to give my own perspective. I don't care. Well, slightly, depending on who I'm talking to, I care about what you're saying. But other than that, so if you're going to cheat, basically what I'm getting at, if you're going to cheat, just tell me. I'll still watch it. I'll still give you your ratings. I just want to see how the outcome comes. I mean, how the outcome becomes.
That and the buildup.
Thank you. Yes.
But Warriors did what they had to do to even the series. And now the finals is the best 2 out of 3. Of course, the Warriors, having the better record, have those 2 games at home in the back of their pocket if they choose to go that route.
Yeah. Well, I'm still holding on to my 6 prediction, but I will understand if it goes 7. If it goes 7. But my final word before we get off, because yes, the end is near. My Raiders giving the slot machine his due. I'm head over heels with this regime right now. It seems like they're doing the right things. They're keeping the core together. And everything that I've been hearing is that now that Waller is next to redo his contract, which he's well deserved because he's underpaid for what he does in the tight end market. We have the money, give it to him. Just give it to him. Just go ahead. I don't want to see him go anywhere else besides being a Raider. And we're also talking about giving Denzel Perryman a extension. Yeah, do it.
Do it now.
Yeah, like right now. I'm okay with that. But and then another final thing is just continue prayers for Uvalde, Texas, and the hospital shooting that just happened a couple of days ago. We just need just a lot of prayer right now because the country is just out of hand right now and it's ridiculous. I know we sit here and talk about sports and that's what it's all about, but we also got to talk about what goes on outside of sports. And this great country that I live in as the US of A, I'm proud to be American, but I'm really disappointed in my country right now. And
Well, in regards to that, to piggyback off what you're saying, America really needs to take a look in the mirror. And they need to ask themselves, is this who we are? And they need to not be in denial when they ask themselves this question. I know some people don't like doing it because they feel like it doesn't make a difference or it doesn't count. Well, it does. If you have the option to vote, by God, vote. Just do it. Just follow. Just be a good citizen. Do your due diligence. But, make your mark. Make your mark known.
can I be devil? I'm gonna be devil's advocate, bro.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go ahead.
Devil's advocate, and I agree to what you're saying. Vote, but you also have some people that thinks when you can see that your vote doesn't slightly make a difference because you've seen where votes have been where you clearly saw someone should won, but then you see the government
stick their 2 cents in there.
Exactly. But I'm not saying don't vote. Excuse me. Please vote. But you can also see where some people can think like their vote may not make a difference.
And I get it. I do.
It may not be heard. But that's politics is not what we do, even though we can't.
Well, Lord knows I hate talking about it because I
don't want to talk about it either, but I can, and it sucks. That's why I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
But we'd like to thank you for tuning in on this late night edition, this NBA Finals edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. Again, Game 5 will be on Monday on ABC at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, as the 2022 NBA Finals has now become a best 2 out of 3. The next 2 wins, somebody will be hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Will the Warriors get their 7th, as they'll now become the 3rd winningest all-time team in NBA history with 7 trophies? Or will Boston add that elusive 18th banner and break the tie with the Lakers?
And Laker fans don't want that.
No, not at all.
No. They look, they got the Kevin Hart meme. No.
and they're screaming pineapples. But just one more thing to say before we wrap it up. It is always a good day when the Giants beat LA.
And we're saying that while we're riding our Lolo like Ice Cube in the video.
Oh, today was a good day.
It was a good day. It was
Warriors,
it was good day for the Bay Area.
Warriors even up the finals.
Yes.
Giants beat the Dodgers.
It's always a good day when that happens.
It's always a good day.
Even when they lose, when they're not playing each other, but it's more sweeter when it's
the Giants.
Oh yes.
As you see in the background, being the authentic fan of Giants baseball. But again, we thank you for tuning in. Again, go to our page on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. You have any ideas of any topics you want us to talk about on the show, again, please do. And hopefully, somewhere down the road, we will have a special roundtable edition because in regards to the NBA, of course, with the finals going on, the whole thought process of they might shorten the regular season, as in their words, to avoid significant injury. But
we shorten the pay. We're gonna shorten the pay.
That part.
We gonna, so contracts ain't gonna be as expensive as it is. Here nor there.
That part.
That's another topic for the show.
We want to have a roundtable to where we have a full panel and we can discuss this matter, because I'm pretty sure with the guests that we like to have on for the show, a lot of passion will be wrung out. But with that said, to do one of our famous quotes. Damn it, by God, it is 5 o'clock. Some damn where.
Where?
Double shot as he makes a toast to himself. But we thank you for watching this late night NBA Finals Game 4 post-game edition of the Mizzle Dub Show. Once again, the Warriors even the finals at 2 games apiece, beating the Celtics in Game 4, 107-97. And with that said, the Warriors in 27 straight series have won one road playoff game, which is a continuous NBA record. Kudos to Steve Kerr and the coaching staff. And on a side note, we mentioned earlier, we are sad to see him leave the staff, but for Kenny Atkinson, kudos to him, as Michael Jordan will make Kenny Atkinson his next head coach of the Charlotte.
Good hire. Good hire.
Good coach.
Yeah.
Normally what that means is your organization is doing things the right way if people are applying coaches out of your organization to go coach. Same thing.
Pedigree.
It's in the pedigree. Same thing with Mike Brown going to be the head coach of the Sacramento Kings.
I feel sorry for him taking that job, but I hope he does well.
That goes without saying. But with that said, that is Mizzle. I am Dub. We once again thank you for watching this edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. Again, go to our YouTube page, watch archives of our shows. Like I said, leave comments, subscribe. Again, if there's a certain topic of a show on a show that you want us to cover, again, feel free to comment and let us know. And of course, once again, it is 5 o'clock some damn where. So go have yourself a shot, go have yourself a beer, and hell, go eat some food if you're hungry. But we thank you for watching this edition. So until then, we appreciate you. We thank you for your support. We do this show because of y'all. Because you like entertainment, you like passion. Well, that's why we're here, to give you entertainment, passion, and to talk about a little thing we like to call the wide world of sports.
Yes. And life. And life.
And life.
It's always good to do one with you, sir.
Pleasure is all mine.
Good night, Canada.
Órale, Mexico.